So it was so nostalgic for viewers to see you guys get together again and do this. But what was it like reuniting and stepping on that Masked Singer stage?
It was definitely something different for us. It wasn't. I don't think the performance factor was something that we weren't used to because we were on tour while we
Hmm.
were doing the show. So we've seen each other perform with each other. We've had that experience. But just to be on stage in a costume as a beat is something that is completely unexpected. I had no idea that that's how my year would start. jumping, jumping around in a beat costume, singing on stage with play. I had no idea.
We've got to come up with a new word, Ruben, because we have used reunite and reunion so many times over the past 21 years.
Yeah.
We have reunited and then reunioned and then reunited again. And the truth is we never broke up. We never left each other's side after Idols. So we've stayed very close and we've been on tour a lot. But so I guess it wasn't really, it didn't feel like reuniting because as he said, we had the week prior been on tour together and then literally 2 days after went right to Alaska to continue that same tour. So we didn't reunite. It's like old, it's like wearing an old comfy pair of shoes or slippers, and I say that not because we not only do we perform together a lot, but unlike others who we perform together with a lot, like there's an ease with Ruben. We know each other's voices, we know each other's styles on stage, we know how he's going to take this song in this direction. I know that he will usually do some ad libs and I will hold a note. You know what I mean? We know each other well enough that it's just very easy to perform together, and so that part was a comfy slipper.
What made you want to
That
return
would have been a
to
good costume if we wore Beats, by the way.
yeah, I was gonna
Slippers.
say about the costume actually. What was it like being a beat and being in that kind of costume? It's round, it's a little awkward.
I mean, it was
So you
rather
do know that
cumbersome.
we didn't become Beats, right? We just wore the right.
Yes,
We
of
didn't.
course.
Okay.
You embodied the beat.
They were very good costumes to making sure it was there.
Yes, they were, but they were really cumbersome. Like, I mean, the shoes were extra large. I mean,
Hmm.
like it was difficult to kind of navigate how to walk in those. It was hard to kind of see straight forward because our line of sight. If you could see the costumes, we had this really small hole right here in the middle of our
Yeah.
head that they painted over so that you couldn't see our faces, and then we really were looking through the eyes of the beat, which was where our actual stomach is on our person. So inside the costume, we're looking down to see how to walk. It
And
was
trying
difficult.
to sing from
Yeah.
big notes like that didn't work very easily. And we could only see our feet. I mean, feet. Gosh, I'm not good with English today, am I? We could only see our feet, and it was. I mean, most of the time was that we were moving was especially on that walkway.
Hmm.
We were just scared to death we were going to walk off the stage. They
Oh
had
my
to put up
gosh.
a glow tape because we could barely see anything.
Wow.
In addition to it, like I was saying earlier, we're very comfortable with each other on stage, and we've sung together a lot, obviously on tour, and we've gotten to where we can kind of look at each other and know when to cut off. There's no big cut off movements or anything. We don't
Yeah.
need those because we didn't have that in this show because not only could we not see anything, we couldn't see each other, we couldn't see each other's faces, which was a weird challenge, I think, for both of us. Just not that we couldn't pull it off, because I think we did very well, Ruben, but
Yes, we did.
but it was a
You did.
challenge for us to sing together and not have that the luxury of being able to rely on
Yeah. To look at each
each
other, to
other.
take
Yeah.
cues off of each other. Yeah, totally. What made you guys want to go back onto another singing competition series 20 something years later now?
I have no idea. I mean, what I do know is that
Mhm.
the option not to be really judged was cool. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like I mean, people can tell you what they think about your singing, but we know how we sound. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And I didn't look at it. Maybe Ruben felt differently. I never look at Masked Singer as a singing competition. I
Yeah.
mean, it is a stupidly brilliant show. that is just so unique. And,
Mhm.
you know, obviously what draws people into watching Idol is the competition aspect of it. What draws people into Dancing with Stars is the competition aspect of it. You know, Masked Singer, I think people are drawn into the mystery part of it, right? Not
Yeah.
the competition part of it. They, you know, they create the structure of the competition to give it some stakes. But for me, it was always just like, when else am I going to get to wear a costume that ridiculous and elaborate and sing? And I mean, just, it was just an opportunity that I had never had before, and we would unlikely get again. So somebody was calling me. It's the little one.
I can hear, speaking of your kids, I can hear one of them in the background, but what did they think about your performance? Did they get a chance to watch?
Yeah, they did get a chance to see, well, my little one got a chance to see the show yesterday, and I think they thought it was cool. I don't know how much that teenager of Clay's thinks that it was cool.
Well, see, that we've talked about there's a difference at a certain age. The kids think it's kind of cool, and then between like 5 and 10, they just kind of assume that everybody's parent does that. Like, it's not cool that dad is on TV, because I'm assuming everybody else is. It's not until they get to the teen years, like mine has gotten to 15, where they realize it's kind of interesting. So I'm getting back to a place with my kid where he actually thinks what I do is interesting. He obviously didn't know about us doing it, but I called him into the room the first episode, and as soon as Ruben started singing, he went, "Oh, that's Uncle Ruben," and he treated it as if though, well, there he goes again. He's singing on TV again. I've seen him sing on everything. And then when I started singing, he went, "Wait a second, when did you do this?" Because I haven't done much on TV, or I haven't performed much since he was a kid, since he was 3. So it was kind of cool for him to see it all. He figured it out right away. It was cool for him to watch it. And today, I do think he won't admit it, but he was texting with his friends last night who were saying, "I heard, saw your dad's on Masked Singer." So today, I think he'll be kind of popular at school.
That's cool. Well, I know you couldn't really tell many people about this. Who did know? Who were you able to let in on the secret?
The only person that knew in my circle was my manager and my wife. That's about it.
My manager knew, and my son's mother, who is not my wife, but for our family trees purposes, she might as well be. So we both told the same story. And one friend of mine knew, because she took care of the dog for me, and Kiana, but no one else. I mean, I didn't even tell my mother. We didn't tell a family member. I didn't tell my kid. I mean, it's very tight-lipped.